Hi guys, it's album review time. My first album review of the year. Before we get on to that, I want to say thanks so much to the band Sideburn who sent me this t-shirt. It's from their Fired Up album that came out last year. If you love a bit of heavy rock, in sort of influences from AC/DC for sure, that sort of real groove rock music, these guys are just experts at it. Honestly, pick their album up, Fired Up from Sideburn. Right, okay, on to Girish and the Chronicles and Back to Earth. So I'm really big and excited about hearing this, and thank you to Frontiers once again for sending me the promo of this album to review. Now, a bit of a story behind this one. This is originally their debut album, 2014, Back to Earth came out. And now it's been re-recorded on Frontiers, and it's coming out on the 27th of Jan. 12 songs, 1 hour and 3 minutes long. So I think the situation behind this is purely they want to give you what they are now as a band. I went back and I listened to one song on YouTube from this album, from the original album, and it's a massive improvement production-wise, heaviness-wise, and it really fits in with their last album, Hail to the Heroes, without a doubt. This is a brilliant album. And man, they've made some big improvements on this. Re-recorded it, obviously, like I said. It wasn't just remastered or anything like that. Apparently, a lot of the vocal takes were kept in. Only a few were mucked around with, so they kept the vocal takes. A lot of musical changes, a lot of heavy breakdowns included. This is what I've been reading about it. Chord progressions and sequences, solos, bass and drums. You know, a big revamp. But the only thing, like I said, is the vocals mainly. But the vocals were re-recorded on Loaded and Angel, them two songs. So yeah, I listened to Ride to Hell, which was the latest single. And yeah, the difference is amazing. I can see why they wanted to get it out there the way it is. And I'm not sure if this debut album's available everywhere either. So I know it wasn't available on Spotify, so I'm not sure if it's available anywhere else. But great idea recording it and re-recording it and making it sound as current as it is. So in this band, you got the brilliant Girish Pradhan on the vocals and rhythm guitar. What an amazing talent. One of the best talents out there at the moment. You know, that new metal vocalist, heavy rock classic metal vocalist coming through, just like we need. Yogesh Pradhan on the bass and keys, Suraj Sun on the lead guitar, and Nagan Nags on the drums. So yeah, the production is very, very similar to the great production we heard on Hail to the Heroes last year. It's almost, it sounds like it goes side by side perfectly with the album. Let me talk about some of my favourite songs, and that's most of them, to tell you the truth. So we've got Ride to Hell. This is the latest single, we just spoke about that. It's a brilliant way to start this album off. It's fast paced. It's perfect metal. It really is. Energy infused rocker. What a great, like, minute and a half intro before it really kicks in with the vocals. There's no let up with this track from beginning to end. In your face metal at its best. Then we move on to Loaded. This was the first single that was released. The pace may slow just a little, but the heaviness is just here in spades as usual. This is where the band really gives me their sort of Steel Heart sort of vibes. I know that Girish has sung a Steel Heart song. I think he's covered a Steel Heart song in the past, and you can see where the influences of Steel Heart come through. I can hear it anyway. Really catchy track, Loaded, that has to sort of had some Van Halen vibes, I would say, especially with the guitar work. Born with a Big Attitude is a brilliant title track. This is what you'd expect from the title as well. It has got attitude as well, sort of pulling some Skid Row influences, I would say. That heavy rock and roll feel is all over this track. Punky attitude, you know, the band sometimes convey in their songs as well. These guys, like, it's almost like they've took their 80s influence and attitude and they don't give a fuck. That's what it sounds like on this song. It is absolutely brilliant. Shot by the Cupid, Touched by the Devil is next. Long old title there. Again, those Eddie Van Halen influence guitar licks, I think, coming through. It's an up-tempo fun rocker, this one. Some great guitar work all the way through this one. It's fast-paced, it's chuggy, it's rocking. I've got to say the guitar work, I mean, these guitarists on this album, I mean, you've got Girish who does the rhythm and Suraj Sun who does the lead guitar. It's amazing throughout this album, it really is. And this song here, Shot by the Cupid, Touched by the Devil, just shows how good the guitaring is, especially Suraj Sun's technical playing is amazing. Next up we've got Angel. The first time we get a breather, I suppose, from the heaviness on here, and a ballad, tinkering piano, heartfelt vocals, lead to a great heavy power ballad. The band really knows how to give you a load of emotion, that you can really feel it in this song. And the band convey that emotion all the way through this album, whether it's aggressive, whether it's fuel-filled metal, or it's just a huge sounding heartfelt ballad like this. Then we move on to track 6, I Want to Get That Lovin' Again. A thumping bass line, classic 80s inspired riff kicks this one off. All those influences the band have are in this track. Some gang vocals, some super sweet backing vocals within the same great chorus. Even with all those like amazing bands, you know, way back nearly 40 years ago, if these guys were around then, they would be playing and filling fucking arenas and stadiums. They sound huge, this band. I love that track. Next up, I want to talk about Yesteryears. A picky guitar intro kicks this 6.5 minute song off before we get piano and vocals. The guys get to pull at your heartstrings again a little bit in this, and a real heartfelt track. Bon Jovi, take note. Take note. This is how you write a song and perform a song and still sound relevant. Another amazing, melancholy, emotionally filled guitar solo that just fits the track perfectly. Smile Little Child is another ballad. What we get here is our second ballad, second proper ballad. I mean, you could put Yesteryears in that territory, but not quite. Subtlety, restraint is shown in this beautiful track. Gorgeous backing vocals that just fill that chorus up. Brilliant song. Then I want to talk about The Golden Crown. This one's written by Girish and Yogesh as teenagers, this one. And it's actually meant to be for a jingle for a local football tournament. And it was saying, I was reading about this, and Girish was saying that it might surprise some people, this song. You know, it sounds a bit different. Man, this is my favourite song on the album, without a doubt. It turns out to be so strong, this song. Catchy, medium pace, heavy rock. 3 minutes of brilliance. This one really hit me hard, the most out of the whole album for some reason. You know, those songs that just hit you immediately, hits the spot, everything you like about the music we love. And then I want to talk about the last track, End of Civilization. Air raid sirens kick this off, an explosion, and then we're into the track. This is Girish and the Chronicles at their heaviest. Riffs hitting you, bass thumping, pounding drums, vocals spitting out every lyric. Suraj Sun shredding his fucking ass off here. Sounds brilliant. A great heavy way to end the album. Man, this is so fresh to me. I've mentioned before when I did the reactions that I didn't hear any of the debut album. So it's basically a new album to me, and that's how I'm going to treat it in my rankings at the end of the year. What a superb way to start off this year. Girish and the Chronicles, Back to Earth. What a great album. Let me know if you're going to get this one in the comments, guys, and I'll see you soon.